Today I want to show you something that I'm actually very excited about. I was sent these 5 products to work with, and I'm going to give you my honest review compared to some of the other type of sealer bags that I have used. We're going to try out of air sealer bags. This is Linda from 6 Acres Farm, and I want to show you what I discovered. I have had such a trial with other sealer bags. This is called out of air sealer bags. These 5 products were sent to me free of charge for my opinion and review. I want to show you a little bit about how it works compared to some of the other products that I have used myself. Hang on just a second and we'll get to it. Let's show you what we got in mind. First of all, let me tell you a little bit about the company. It is a family-run company, and they care about us preserving our food safely. On the back of these boxes, it tells you many ideas of things that you can do with this product. The company is Out of Air. This is just their vacuum sealer bags. They have many other products on their website, and I will post a link to that so that you can go and check that out also, because there's many other products. This one is the pint, which comes in great because we are just 2 people, and you know, we could put enough for single servings in these pints, or we could use these handy little zipper ones, and I'll show you how those work in a second, for 2 people. Or I could custom seal for 2 people or more. These 2 products here actually have a zipper. You can customize your own bag. If you need it a little bit longer, these work great. This is the 8-inch by, it's a 100-foot roll. That's great. So it's 8 inches across, and you can make it as long as you need it. So if you have a big piece of salmon, you know, those are long, and you don't want to cut it up, and you're going to have a big meal, and you want to put it on the grill as whole piece. This is great because you could just seal up that long piece of salmon without any problem. The one on the bottom is 11 inches, and it also has a 100-foot roll. These are PBA free, so it is safe. You can cook in them, you can freeze in them, and I would, some of the small ones, I would actually microwave it. Poke a fork in the bag, put it in your microwave and steam it. So if you're going river rafting and you don't want to get your phone or your medications or some other things wet, vacuum seal those items until you get to the end of wherever you're going, and they're all safe whether you fall in the water or not. So on the back of this box, it tells you that you can avoid freezer burn. They are heavy duty. There's 7 layers, 4 mil puncture resistant plastic, unless you take a fork and puncture it yourself. Then you probably have to work pretty hard to do that. They're very tough bags. You can boil in them, microwave, freeze in them. Their material can take more wear and tear than other products on the market. You can, they did a boiling water test, 100 degrees Celsius boiling water. They tested it up to 4 hours without it breaking the seal. Now, what kind of test is that? That's great. You can write on your bags. These are extra large writing pads here. They look like stickers, but they're built into the bag, but they're extra large. So I have kind of heavy hand, and I like to use the big fat markers. It's easier to see what you've got in them. So you got plenty of room. This one has the zip type seals. So if you can see here, there's a little notch right here. You go ahead and you load it from this end. Now if it's something that's a little bit wet or a little bit sticky, I would fold it over one like a cuff so that you don't get this area wet. It'll seal a lot better, and that goes with any bags that you seal. Once you get that wet there, it could compromise your seal. So if you decide you want to take some items out of this, you can reseal it. Like, say for instance, you got this great big old bag of cereal and you're going in for a little ride in the car. You can put the cereal in this bag, go ahead and seal it up, and once you're ready, break it open. You can just reseal it if the kids don't eat it all. So it works out great. I love those little seals. You know, let me tell you about the packaging. When these came in 2 separate packages, this is very thick cardboard on all of these. This one has a great zip, it's like a little cutter right there. Some of the ones that I have bought on the market before, the box collapses. It collapses. So the packaging itself is really, really good. It's nice and heavy. This one is one of the rolls. This one is your 8 by 25 foot. So it's 8 inches this way, 25 foot. You can customize whatever you need. Actually, here's their support. They have a support website. You can go on. Anything that I haven't covered, you can go on and you can ask, and I'm sure you may have you know, plenty of questions if you're comparing them to some of the products that you've got online or any of the box stores or whatever. You have less waste on these rolls because you can cut it exactly the way you want it. Exactly. Measure, cut, mark it, makes it really easy. And I don't know about you, but I have had the worst luck with my packaging opening up. So this is something that I put it in just a little zip pouch because I knew that I was going to do this. I was lucky enough to get a really good buy on ginger, so I cut it up. I froze it prior, and I may just slide this whole thing in there, or I may open it up and pour it back in there. But once it's frozen, it's got the shape that you need. So I'll just slide that in there and seal them up like that. Something else that I would use it for, I make my own soaps and I freeze my coconut milks and different things. And once I weigh them, I can just put them in these little bags here and seal them up. But right now, this is just in a little bag, but it makes it really handy. And if I don't use it for a while, my milk that is frozen in here won't go bad, and it won't get that little freezer frosty stuff that's on the top of it. Let me show you something. This is a pouch that actually came from a meat processor. But as you can see, it's already lost its seal. And so now I'm gonna have to cook it and just give it to the dogs because it's freezer burn. It's gotten quite a bit of freezer burn on it. I didn't notice it, but I mean, the bag itself, it's totally open. So this is what I've been dealing with. These are Food Saver bags, so the processor used a Food Saver bag, which is a lot thinner. You can tell the difference in this is probably 3 mil, this is 4. So that's a big difference when you're looking at the plastic. Same thing with this one also, it's already lost its seal. So there should not be, I mean, okay, so maybe we keep it a year. We shouldn't lose the seal because then we've lost our bargain of whatever we were going to do it with. When we use something like this, there's 20 in there, and we've had 2 meals out of it. We still have some meals, but okay, we're tired of them. So I need to seal this in this small one, and that way they're going to be just as fresh as if I took it out of the store. So I'm going to do that one also. And It doesn't, oh, I meant to tell you, it does not matter what quality of air sealer you have. I have just a small run-of-the-mill inexpensive sealers, and I've seen some that are very expensive. So I think it's the quality of the bags that actually keeps your food, whatever you're sealing. So I think it's actually the quality of the bags. It's not necessarily the type of sealer you have. I think I found this one at the thrift store for $5. So I have one that's a little bit more expensive, but it doesn't really matter. They're all going to do the job if you have a good bag. So let me seal a couple of things and show you what else. Okay, so I'll give you a good review or not, depending on how they do. If you have any issues, there is an 800 number, there is a website. They're very prompt on answering your questions. Send them a question and say, this is what happened, did I do something wrong, or is there something else I need to do? They'll be glad to answer that for you. They have many products on their website, not just these 5, they have many. So go check those out. I'll leave the link in my description so that you can do that easily. Okay, this was the zipper one. It says it's 4 mil, and honestly, when I picked up this one came from a processor, a local processor. When I had my cows butchered, and look, it's open. So this piece actually, it got freezer burn because it didn't hold, and I can tell the difference in just touching it, that it is not as thick in the quality of those. Definitely can tell that difference. The next one is the pint. It's 6 inches by 10 inches, perfect for single serving. Like with us, we're only 2. So maybe it's something that we're not going to eat a lot of, or you can put 2 pieces of hamburger in there. Because I do tend to buy it in bulk, which if your sealer bag is not going to work, doesn't matter if you buy it in bulk, because you're going to ruin it anyway, or it'll get opened up, you won't know it, get freezer burn, get all those little frosty bits on there. I have some of those too. So that is the pint one, and as you can see, I could get enough in there for 2 people. 2 hamburgers would fit in there. Same thing, has the little notch right there. Very easy. You don't have to get a scissors or a knife and try not to cut yourself. You just rip that off and you can pull your product out of there. If it's something you want to seal back, if you have enough room, I would say seal it back. I've done that before. This one is a roll, comes in here. This is 8, comes in 8 by 25 yards. It actually, and there's an 11-inch by 25 yards also. So there's 2 sizes in this one also. This one is 100 foot by 8 inches, and the bottom one is 11 inches by 100 foot. And that bottom one would fit something like, I render my own tallows, and I put them in a gallon-sized bag, smush them down real flat, and I could just slip it right in here. I could just slip it right in that gallon bag. I've already got it kind of double bagged it, but it's easier to handle when it's something real sticky. So that works. Here's another example of a product. This is from the meat processor also. It doesn't have a seal. This one happens to be bones for the dog, but it doesn't matter. I don't want them with freezer burn on them, because I'm sure if it's bad enough, the dogs will taste it and then they won't eat it. So then you've kind of wasted, your cow. Those are just some of the instances that I've had. If you have something wet, sometimes I make crock pot meals, and it makes a lot. So I put them in these little containers here, and I pre-freeze them. So when I freeze them, Now this one's been in there too long because we have the little frosty bits on top. But I would take this zipper, or I would take this custom cut, and I would just take it out. It's already frozen. It was a little bit liquidy before I froze it. So I would just slide that in there and go ahead and vacuum seal it. So pre-freezing them helps if there's a lot of liquid in there. I also pre-freeze my, I make handmade soap, so I pre-freeze my milks. This one is coconut milk. I do cow's milk, goat's milk, aloe vera juices, different ones. I put them in an ice cube container. I also do eggs. I go ahead and scramble them up, yellow separate, white separate, and I pre-freeze them in a little cupcake pan, and then I can actually seal them in that, because there's certain times of the year that your chickens don't lay. So I will have yellows that I can scramble. I have whites that if I need to add it to a recipe, I already have them. And I don't have to worry about the chickens laying them, and I do not like going to the store and doing store-bought eggs. I haven't had store-bought eggs in 7 years. So I got a really big, large container of ginger, and I cut it into small pieces. I pre-froze it in this little bag. It'll work perfect in this little pint bag, and I can seal it up. And it's not frozen now because it's sitting out, but if I had it frozen just like with the coconut milk, then it would just be slip it in there, and that way I can keep my freezer more organized. I can see what I have, and of course they have the very large strips on these bags where you can use one of them big fat markers if you want to. I like those. So these are some of the ones that I got. Also, we get these. There's 20 in there for 2 people. Well, we've eaten on it 3 times, so I've still got enough for another meal for both of us. So I could put those into my smaller container, go ahead and zip them, because after 3 meals, you're tired of eating them. So you can go back later and eat them. Be sure and date your things. When you freeze them, date them. That way you use the oldest first, and then you shouldn't have any problems. If you have a big package of cereal and the kids are like, they want a new cereal, go ahead and zip these in one of these larger containers. Go ahead and vacuum seal them, then come back to them later. I made jalapeno poppers. My neighbor was kind enough to give me a lot of jalapenos and produce out of his garden this year. And so I just made poppers and I froze them. Now this little zip pouch, I could just slide in there, and it's already ready to go. So it's gonna really come in handy. I think this is a very good product. I really do. Without even sealing it first, I'm already excited about the different sizes where you can customize. Let me get you where I can show you actually doing it. I will write on it. That is my ginger. Okay, you seal the end. And then you can custom cut whatever you need. It's got these little marks here that you can use. Okay. So I gave you a couple examples of what the Out of Air sealer bags do. The quality of the product from the usual 3 mil or less to 4 very heavy bags. And as you can see, they did a really nice job sealing. There's my poppers and my little taquitos. So I will leave a link and you can go to their website, outofair.com, and check out their products. Thanks. Bye.